On today's episode of Rowdy Riley's Sports Review, we'll hear from Director of Full Count Baseball, Josh Carman, on what it's like to run a collegiate summer program and a little bit about his family as well. Josh, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me, Riley.
What is Full Count and Full Count Rhythm? How long have both been around?
Well, Full Count Ministries is a baseball ministry that was formed or birthed in 2010 off a backpacking trip, mission trip to Nicaragua. We went on a mission trip, and a baseball game broke out on the side of a mountain in Ocotal, Nicaragua. And from there, a group of guys came back from that mission trip and decided it would be neat to take a baseball team to Nicaragua. And so a ministry was birthed out of that. And Full Count Ministries uses the game of baseball to share the gospel of Jesus Christ all over the world. And so it's been around since about 2010. And 2 years ago, in 2020, the COVID year, we decided that we wanted to reach more baseball players, and specifically with the college baseball players. So we bought a franchise and formed what's called Full Count Rhythm, which is a collegiate summer league team that plays in the Ohio Valley College Summer League. So we use Full Count Rhythm, and we bring 35 college baseball players to Hendersonville every summer. We put them with a host family, and we just minister to these guys all summer long. But the cool thing is, man, Riley, is we get to play baseball at the same time. So that's exciting. So we feel there's no greater marriage than Jesus and baseball.
I was doing a little research, and the overarching verse for not only Full Count but for Rhythm as well is 1 Corinthians 9:25.
Yeah.
Why is that significant?
Man, the verse 1 Corinthians 9:25 says, everyone who competes in the games goes into strict training. They do it to get a crown that will not last, but we do it to get a crown that will last forever. In baseball, a lot of people spend their whole careers chasing rings and the next level and make it to the big leagues, go as far as I can go. But one day, all those things are going to perish, and they're going to be gone away. Bats are going to break, gloves are going to wear out, baseballs are going to get waterlogged. So we try to teach that in our earthly bodies especially, and also with our spiritual being, that we want to train for eternity, not for things that won't last, but things that'll last forever. And we're going to spend eternity somewhere. So we want to teach them how to train for a crown that will last forever.
Did you see a need for a faith-based baseball program?
Yeah, like I said, we've been around for 12 years now, and the way our world is today is we teach people to plan ahead. Try to get this next promotion, try to get to the next level, go to all this school so I can get this good job, this, that, and the other. And we do that with planning in our calendars. You look at our calendars and they're booked up, and so kind of look at it like those days turn into weeks, and then weeks turn into months, and then months turn into years, and we're always planning ahead. So I feel like if you start at the end, which is when we all die, and work backwards, in baseball, the thing we have in common, we all have it in common, is the game's going to end for us, right? And so this game's going to let us down because it's going to end. And so the need for a faith-based baseball team, it's so easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle and the grind of playing the game and honoring myself and glorifying myself. We thought the need to glorify God, who gave us the gift to play baseball. There's a great need for that, and there's a few of them around the country. We're just another one that wants to spend our being in this game, teaching people how to glorify their maker, their creator, who gave them the gifts that they have.
How many schools have a representative or representatives on Rhythm?
So Rhythm, like I said, we got 35 players, and those come from 19 different college or universities across the United States, just represented on this team alone this summer. So we've got 19 different schools, Division I and Division II, represented here this summer.
How many D1 or D2 schools are represented?
So out of the 19 different schools, 11 of them are Division I. So there's 8 Division II and then 11 Division I programs.
Josh, I understand you have a child with special needs.
We do. My wife and I, Brooke, have 2 biological children, 2 daughters, and then we, 5 years ago, we adopted 2 children. And the most recent daughter that we adopted from China has Down syndrome. And so it's a funny story, man. We went to China to adopt our son, Ty, and while we were there in the orphanage, we kind of asked him, said, hey, show us who your best friend is. And so he took off running down the hallway at the orphanage in China, and he goes up to this little girl with Down syndrome, and he said, in Mandarin language, which I didn't understand at the time, this is my best friend, Li Wei. And so we came home with Ty and continued to check in on Li Wei and prayed about it and decided that we were going to adopt her as well and bring her here home with us.
What has been one special blessing about having your adopted daughter with special needs? Has she taught you to love in a different kind of way, or?
Yeah, she, when I was in school, I would help out in the special needs program. So I guess it was God's providence that one day I would adopt or have a child with special needs, and I didn't know that then. But since she's been home, Rowdies, don't tell my family, but Li Wei is my favorite. Out of my 4 kids, Li Wei's my favorite. She's taught our whole family so much. There's so much joy in that child that she, because she has a disability, doesn't slow her down at all. She can do anything and everything that I'm able to do, that my other 3 children are able to do. And it's just inspiring to see her love us and us love her equally, and her not to be limited. So there was no fear going into that, I guess because God prepared me many years ago that it's not that big of a deal. There's not a big difference there.
I've got something to say that I've actually never disclosed to the Rowdies. That's what I call my followers.
I love it.
I'm actually autistic. Look at everything I've been able to do. I have one final question. In the 2 years that Rhythm has been around, what has been your favorite memory?
Gosh, so I would have to say there's a lot. It's been an excellent 2 years. To see this baseball team be birthed out of a ministry, and to see college coaches and families and strangers come together for a summer. It's really a weird concept to move across the country and live with some stranger for the summer just to play baseball. That sounds really weird. But I have to say that probably my most favorite memory is last year. We were in the championship game and we lost it. And heartbreaking night, right? Not really. But after that game was over, we spoke of our ministry verse, that we train for an eternal crown and a crown that will last forever, not one that will perish. My eyes were opened after that game. There were 2 teams on the field left. One won the championship, one just lost it. And I bet if you were come out on that field, you would have been able to tell, you wouldn't have been able to tell who lost the championship. One team got their trophy, and 5 minutes later, they set their trophy down and they're gone. The other team that lost hung around for an hour and a half, 2 hours, crying and hugging and didn't want to leave. And that was our team. And the bond they formed, just the work that had been done in their life, the love that they were showered with all summer, the word that was preached to them all summer about things that last versus things that perish was probably my most memorable moment to date since this team's been alive.
Does Full Count or Full Count Rhythm have any social media?
We do. Full Count Ministries has its own handles on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Full Count 925. And then Full Count Rhythm has its separate Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Full Count Rhythm.
Speaking of all three sites, you can actually catch me on there too, at Rowdy Riley SR. Coach, it's been a pleasure.
Man, I'm a hugger. I'm a hugger.
Coming in, Coach. You've got the game to go, Coach.
Thank you, Rowdy. I appreciate your time. And to the Rowdies out there, let's give this guy a big hand.